I'm going to tell you a story today that it's like a real part of my heart. This isn't just a silly story to me. I grew up in Louisiana and I know I've talked about it before. I think I've talked about it before. It's one of those things that I feel like I talk about all the time, but I did. I grew up in northern Louisiana, and North Louisiana is very different than South Louisiana. My whole life, I was told I lived in southern Arkansas, and I'm like, oh, that's really funny, you guys. But yeah, grew up in North Louisiana, but we are still very serious about all things Cajun, even though we're not quote unquote Cajun country. One thing about Louisiana is that we take Lent very seriously. And by Lent, I mean Mardi Gras. So, it's a big deal. Okay. I didn't know that the rest of the world wasn't Catholic until I moved out of the state of Louisiana because everyone I knew was Catholic, because everyone I knew was at Mardi Gras, and we all gave up things for Lent. So growing up there, I didn't understand that spring break was something that people did in Mexico because in Louisiana, we didn't really have spring, or I don't remember spring break. I remember getting an entire week off for Mardi Gras, and they still do that. Where I am now in Houston, we get one day for Mardi Gras. It's Tuesday, Fat Tuesday, the night before, Lent. And we eat all the things. We eat pancakes. We eat, oh my God, it's probably not okay. I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure the gluttony part of the sins happen and we've got to go to confession. But yeah, so I went from 1 week of Mardi Gras getting off of school to one night. Okay. But here's where the story happens. When I was in kindergarten, which I know is really long ago, I got it. And on top of it, I was really young. Okay, when I went to kindergarten, because in Louisiana, they had different laws at the time. I was 4 years old when I went to kinder. So I was actually 17 when I was in college for a long time until I turned 18. But I'm 4 years old. I'm in kindergarten and we have a Mardi Gras parade at our school. That's how serious Mardi Gras is. Now, I mean, we have floats. Y'all, we had Mardi Gras floats. We had costumes. Like we were basically like New Orleans. You know what I mean? We weren't. We were super far from New Orleans. And we shut down the school and we did all the things. My mom designed my float and my costume. I remember her staying up all night because here is where I peaked. I did. I peaked at 4 years old because I was elected Mardi Gras queen of my kindergarten class. And it all went downhill after that. Like I never was able to achieve that type of like accomplishment ever again. It was amazing. I had a cape. I had a cape. A cape. I had a crown. I had my own float. And guess who my Mardi Gras king was? You're not going to know. You weren't at my school. But it was the crush of my life until I met my husband, Jesse James. And let me just say this about Jesse James. That is his actual name. I did not make that up. And yes, he is related to the outlaw Jesse James. That's what he told us. I believe him. I was 4. So Mardi Gras was huge for me. It was a blast. I loved being on my own parade float. I didn't have to share it with anyone. I got to wave to my public. I threw things at them and I didn't get in trouble for that. Everything about this experience was lovely. Let's cut to me as an adult, right? Which is what I am right now. Well, I mean, yeah, technically. So parades do not hold the magic that they did when I was a kid. Now I think of parades as really hot, boring because you have to sit there forever. You have to you know, keep your spot. What was I going to say? When we were little, we used to say Jack, Jack, spot back. Did anyone grow up saying that? So you would have to Jack spot back your spot at the parade. And you were fighting people for like beads or those really hard candies that you could only get at like the bank. Do you remember back in the day when the bank would give you candy? So like I don't enjoy a parade anymore. And I need to know because usually we're opposite on this. This is how this conversation is going to go, bringing in JW. Parades are going to be his favorite thing ever on the entire planet because it's full of people. That was sarcasm because I know for a fact that is not why JW would love a parade. It would not be because he could just snuggle with all the strangers. I know that that's not it. But or B, he loathes them and hasn't even been to a parade. So I would love to know, JW, I want to hear about your parade experiences as a kid. Did you go to parades? Because you grew up all over the world in my brain.
We went to parades.
You went to were they only military parades?
No.
You went to
like good old hometown kind of 4th of July parades. Yeah. Had a blast with them. I did skip a parade this year with my kids because it was gonna be being by myself with the kids, and so yeah, we didn't go.
No. Was the parade closed? You're like, oh, COVID.
No, it happened.
No, but did you tell your children that it was closed?
Oh, they didn't even know it was happening. So
I can't do it. I can't do it now as an adult. I really can't. It's not enjoyable. I don't know when does that shift happen? Those things when you listen to talk radio or podcast, as an adult, you go from listening to like Britney Spears to boring conversations. Not this conversation. This is invigorating. You go from sitting for hours, sweating, catching really bad candy to not. Like, when does that happen?
When does the switch happen?
When does the switch happen?
When you don't like it anymore?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think that they're still fun. We don't go to too many, right? But I think they're still fun, especially when you have like smaller kids. Then it's just a nostalgia bit.
They do get excited.
Yeah.
The kids get excited. And there are differences in parades. There's some hometown parades that are phenomenal.
Yeah.
And you feel like you're in a Hallmark movie. You're like, are they taping us right now? That's what it's like in my hometown in Natchitoches. Natchitoches does an incredible. Did you hear that word that I just said? Have you ever heard of that town?
Natchitoches.
I saw your face.
I was trying to place it on a map. I was like, I wonder
Say
if I've
Natchitoches.
ever Natchitoches. Right?
Yeah.
Is that close enough?
Sure. Northern Louisiana. But their parade is, you really feel like you're in a Hallmark film. But that whole Christmas festival that they have is like, what was in a movie? Still Magnolias, which I know you have not seen because
Absolutely
you're a guy.
Not, yeah.
Did you say absolutely not?
Absolutely not. I mean, it sounds like a cool title, but I'm probably not going to watch a movie.
It's funny. It's really funny, but that's my hometown.
Okay.
But that's a great parade. But then there's some other parades you go to, and I don't know about you, but I'm angry because I'm like, I can't believe I just stood out here and this is what you people made me wait for. Have you ever felt that?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't been to a parade for a while. I think the last actual parade when we lived in Charleston, we went to St. Patrick's Day parade, and that was awesome. I could get into a good St. Patrick's Day parade.
Was there green beer?
No.
They do that here. We always have green beer in Houston and green milk. They'll make all the milk green.
I think that's bad. That's bad milk.
They're not really dyeing it. That's just, they save it all year.
Normally when milk's green, it's a sign to stay away.
I used to love it as a kid. I could not wait for, why didn't I know that I could just buy green, food coloring and make my own green milk? But I waited every year for that.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
To each his own. No.
That's not why you like the parade. Got it.
No.
Wasn't for the green beverages.
Not for the green milk. No.
Okay.
I think that, I'm trying to think of the parades that I've enjoyed. Like I have this memory, and it's kind of foggy, of when I was a kid. My dad's family was from northern Minnesota when they first came to the United States. So some people were still living there, and we would go back and visit every once in a while. And there were very small towns there. And on the 4th of July, there was a parade. I remember like your classic, just the small main street, and kids and families sitting on the curb as the two fire engines drive through. That was the best. Those are some of the greatest. And there's two fire engines and a lot of plastic. I don't know. It was a very American small flags. It's a very small town, and I think I love those. That part of it is great, but also their summers way up there. You're not gonna be dying of sweat like you would. So you wouldn't be angry if you were down here and you sat outside in August. No, that's not happen. When 4th of July is. 4th of July is in July. Wow. If you sat outside here in July and you only saw two fire engines, you would be angry. They had better be coming through with their hoses. Yeah, exactly. Blazing. Yeah. It's a slip and slide kind of parade. Right. It's an interactive. Yeah. I used to, we go to Disney a lot. Mm-hmm. Because we only have two kids, and they have a parade every night there, don't they? Every night. They have 17 a day, and people will plan their trip around these parades, and I don't get it.
And I cry. This is a fact. I literally cry every time I see Mickey Mouse. And I see him all the time. Every time I am Buddy the Elf. I am that excited. I'm like, what? Like I've never seen him before. And I lose it. Lose my mind. But I don't want to sit and wait for him on a parade. I want to go ride a ride while everybody else is outside with their kids. That's when you go ride rides.
Oh, when everyone's waiting for the
Oh,
parade.
yeah, totally. But what is the point? I don't understand why you pay the money to go sit there and watch people dance and twirl ribbons. I love you, Disney. I can't believe I just said that. I do. They're gonna not let me back
Oh
in.
man.
Whoa. Look at you. You're like, wow, I'm gonna not stand by her. She's but yeah, I think I gotta know this. Have you ever gone to Mardi Gras though in New Orleans?
Never been to Mardi Gras. I've been invited. I've just never been able to make it. I have a friend who lives there. I would love to go visit him during
Yeah.
that time. I just haven't been able to yet.
There's different parades.
It's
And
like a month long.
it is forever long. Like they
Yeah.
take it very seriously. And it might be a month long. It's kind of like the rodeo here in Houston. That's 3 weeks long here, So it's at least 3
Yeah.
weeks in New Orleans. But there's different levels of parade. There's family friendly, and then there's like, maybe like teenagery. And then there's like no one you know or that you're related to should be with you.
But they also have like some crazy, not crazy, but
No,
like
it's crazy.
there's some out there like parades.
Oh
I,
yeah.
I remember I was in one town in Louisiana last year, 2 years ago or something. And in this church building, and all of a sudden, like out the windows, there was just like a stream of dogs
Dogs?
and people. I mean, and their people were walking them, but like out of nowhere, it was just like
It was a dog
horde,
parade?
a horde of dogs and their people walking them like a part of a Mardi Gras parade.
That is fascinating. Somebody's gonna write in and tell us what that they're gonna be like, my dad was the, marshal of that parade, the grand marshal. That's hilarious. Yeah, no, well, one day you'll have to
Someday.
go first without the children and scout it out because we made the mistake where we didn't do that. And we brought Zach when he was 7. And I don't know if there's things he can unsee from that experience. And that was even early in the day because as the day goes on, people have been enjoying their beverages, whatever they are partaking in
Mhm.
for Mardi Gras season. So by the time that the nighttime comes, they have had all the beverages. And those parades get real fun. You know what I mean?
Well, and right, and that's the time. That's the time of the year that everybody's like more outside
Yep.
down
Yep.
down in this part of the country, right?
It's true. There's a lot of people. It's fun. You'll have to go sometime. No, but parades are great. And now I kind of want to go to it. Now I feel bad. I've never been to my dream, and this is true. This is not me just saying this, but my real dream is to go to the Thanksgiving Day parade in New York City, the Macy's. Have you
Oh
been?
my gosh, yes. I can't believe I've been and you haven't. This is incredible.
I don't think I've ever seen your face light up like that.
I think I've been twice, maybe when I was a little kid.
You've been twice.
Yeah, maybe once when I was in like single digits, and then maybe like 8th grade or something, or 7th grade maybe.
Is it as amazing as I want it to be? Just
Uh,
lie. Just say it's
I
phenomenal.
mean, yeah, it's an experience for sure.
I want to go so badly.
I think it's really fun. I remember, and I haven't been to that city for a long time. Whatever like the nuts that they cook on the street corners are,
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
maybe, I don't know. They did not smell that great when I was walking around that city. And that
It
is,
might be chestnuts.
that
They
is-
don't smell that
that's
great.
one of my lingering memories of that parade. But other than that, like
Really?
seeing all the
What you
floats
remember
go
from the
down.
Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade is the bad smelling nuts on the street. Is that what you're telling me right now?
this is what comes to mind.
I can't. I cannot with you. Why are you taking my dreams and just okay? That's hilarious. Listen, I was in New York one time for the Thanksgiving Day parade, and they got a blizzard, so we were not able to go. And I just
Oh,
want to
really?
make that a
Too
really
bad.
sad. I know it's very sad, but here's what's interesting about everybody in the north. You know what they're doing right now? They're moving down here to the south.